It didn't take 2 minutes like he predicted, but Conor McGregor sure was dominant. Welcome into MMA Live Extra. I'm Prim Saripapat. The Notorious featherweight defeated Dennis Siver by second-round TKO at the UFC Fight Night in Boston. Here to give us the recap is ESPN MMA writer Brett Okamoto. So, Brett, you were cage side for this one. What did you think of McGregor's performance?
I thought McGregor's performance was absolutely outstanding on Sunday. You know, look, this guy had a lot of technical and physical advantages over Dennis Siver, and that's why he was a 10-1, 11-1, 12-1 betting favorite coming into this fight. But he didn't rest on his laurels. He took nothing for granted. He looked terrific. He looked like he was in great shape. He was obviously very prepared, and that's becoming something that we've learned about Conor McGregor, is that he is so prepared for every one of his fights. He knows his opponents. He does his homework, and then he's just constantly evolving, constantly fine-tuning his own body, his own technique, and he showed us some new things on Sunday. So I thought it was outstanding.
Well, we all know he can certainly put on a show. Immediately after the fight, McGregor jumped out of the octagon and got into Jose Aldo's face. Can't really say I'm surprised, but how smart of a move was this for the challenger to do that to the champion?
Yeah, I think it's a smart move. I think anyone who says it's not a smart move is going to say, uh-oh, you know, now Jose Aldo is really mad. Now he's going to take this fight real seriously. He's going to come out and want to prove a point against Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor has been calling Jose out for 2 years. And even though jumping over the cage wall and getting into his face in front of thousands of people inside an arena is a little bit different than calling him out in a headline media, you know, Jose Aldo was going to be up for this fight regardless. He's had an eye on Conor McGregor. He wants to fight him. He wants to shut him up. So I think, you know, for marketing purposes, obviously this is something the UFC will use. They'll cut it up. It'll be on all their promos for this fight. And then for Conor, it's just a way to get in the mind of his opponent. It's a way to establish himself as the alpha male. You know, it's usually Jose Aldo who's the intimidating factor in these featherweight fights. And Conor McGregor is trying to flip that table, and he's trying to take the lead role here very early.
Well, Jose didn't seem intimidated at all. In fact, he looked like he was laughing the whole time. Now, in the co-main event, Donald Cerrone beat Benson Henderson via unanimous decision. Bendo wasn't pleased with what the judges said. How did you see the fight?
I saw this as just a really close lightweight fight. I think any score that you had on this three-rounder is defensible. All 3 rounds were close. Personally, I did give Ben Henderson the fight. I had it 29-28. I scored the first round and the third round for Ben, the second round for Donald Cerrone. But it was one of those fights in which after every round, instead of just writing down a score and you know, moving on, it was kind of like, well, wait a second, you know, what was that? And you know, what was worth more here? Was it that leg kick? Was it that punch? It was just one of those back-and-forth fights where neither guy really established his dominance at any point. You know, I think that Ben obviously can be disappointed that the decision did not go his way, but it was not a robbery by any means in my eyes.
So that's now 7 straight wins for the Cowboy, already strengthening his case for a title shot. With the belt up for grabs in March, what do you think is next for Cerrone?
I think next for Cerrone is a little bit of time off. I mean, as we all know, that this guy just fought 15 days ago. He fought Miles Jury at UFC 182 in Las Vegas and turned around and took a short notice fight against Ben. It was the fourth quickest turnaround in UFC history. Both fights went the distance. So even UFC President Dana White backstage after the event said, hey, Donald, you know, go home, rest up a little bit. And I think when Donald comes back, he's going to be fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib is undefeated. He is a highly ranked lightweight. He's in title contention as well. The only fight that really makes sense for Donald Cerrone right now is either fighting for the title or fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov. Anthony Pettis already has an opponent in March, so I believe that'll be the next fight, Nurmagomedov versus Donald Cerrone, and that will determine the next #1 contender at 155 pounds.
That's ESPN MMA writer Brett Okamoto. Thank you for your time today, sir. Sounds like you enjoyed Boston, except for the cold weather?
It was a little chilly in Boston, but a good trip overall. Yep.
A little different than Vegas. All right. Thank you very much. All right. That will do it for this edition of MMA Live. I'm Prim Saripapat. We'll see you guys next time.